What's going on, guys? It's your boy Lil Mac. We're back here today with another video, and it is requested we're going to be making this a settings video. So let's hop right into it. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go to controller, aiming input device. Obviously, I play on controller, not a mouse and keyboard demon. Edit button layout, we're going to put that on tactical flip, which allows me to aim with my bumpers instead of my triggers. Crouch with my right stick, and melee, body, shield, and finishing with my circle button. I have my circle button mapped to my left paddle, and my X button, which is the jump and stuff, jump stand, whatever, mantle, I have that mapped to my right paddle. Stick layout, default, not going to touch that. With the new season 1 or season 1 reloaded update, they mess with the sensitivities again. I play on 1.65, which is the equivalent to about 7.7. I would say anywhere from 1.6 to 1.7 is probably where you want to be for multiplayer. Simplified controls preset, gonna leave that off. Low motor strain off. Bumper ping off. As I said before, we play on swap. Bumpers for I mean, not bumpers for paddles, but bumpers for triggers and triggers for bumpers. Controller vibration, I'm gonna leave that off. Kind of throws my aim off personally, but another personal preference type setting. So to each his own. Dead zones, this is where we, get into the nitty gritty, the important stuff. Left stick max, I want to have mine on 3, and that's because I don't have much drift in my left stick of my controller. If you have a little drift, like I say a little, but if you have a lot of drift, you need to be on probably about anywhere from 5 to 10. But if you have low drift, I would say anywhere from 1 to 5. And obviously, if you have no drift, put it on 0. But 3 works best for my controller and my controller's lifespan right now. We're going to go to left stick max. Put this on 60. What this is going to do is going to help you strafe, like your maximum speed strafe left and right. You'll achieve it faster by putting this on 60. Trust. I would say anywhere from 60 to 70. Some people probably even have it on 50. 60 is the sweet spot for me. Right stick min, I put that on 1. This is another thing that's going to have to do with your controller drift. If you have controller drift, you're going to want to put this anywhere from 5 to 10, depending on how bad the drift is. I don't have any drift in my right stick. If I do, it's minimum, so that's why we have it on 1. Right stick max, going to leave that alone. You're going to troll yourself if you mess with that setting, so obviously leave that alone. Bumper dead zones, not bumper dead zones, but trigger dead zones. Personal preference, I put mine on 13 so I can stop accidentally pulling grenades and flashbangs. But on to the next thing. Aiming tab, we're going to go to sensitivity multiplier. I play on 0.90 ADS sensitivity multiplier, which helps me be a little more consistent, make it a little more sticky, because 1.0, my aim's a little shaky, but this is another one of them personal preference settings as I was talking about before. Everything else we don't really mess with. Aiming advanced settings. I don't really mess with any of these either, except for the transition timing. You're going to want to put that on instant. Gradual is kind of, I think that's what the default is gradual. You don't want that. You want to aim in instant. When you click that aim in button, you definitely want to aim in instant, especially if you're playing on triggers instead of bumpers. Third person, I don't really play third person. I've never messed with this. Leave it how it is. Aim response curve. I play on linear. I've not experienced, but experimented with linear and dynamic. And me personally, I think linear is the best. If your aim's gotten better, put it this way. If I was still on the game, like if this is still week 1, 2 of the game, I'd probably still be on dynamic. But I know for sure over the last month, I've been on linear. It works best for me. Since I've got my aim a little better, I put the curve for linear on 0.50. That's about it for that. On to the next tab. Movement. Sprint assist, we're going to put tactical sprint assist. Cut that on. I think it's probably on off default or maybe just on. I don't. On had a little delay for me, I think. I think that was my issue with on, if I'm not mistaken. But tactical sprint assist has done the best for me. Mantle assist, we're going low mantle assist. Help you over low objects, obviously. Sometimes whenever you're trying to prone, when you have low mantle assist, it will pick your body back up. So if you're having that issue, you're going to want to cut that off. I don't really have that issue too much. Crouch assist, we're going to cut that off. Corner slice, we're going to leave that on. Help you get your movement around the corners and stuff, obviously. Slide dive behavior, I like mine on hybrid. Because if you play on tap to dive, let's say you play tap to dive, it's going to delay your slide. If you play on tap to slide, it's going to delay your dive. So the best of both worlds, play on hybrid. Trust. Just add Shotzi. Trust. Sprint assist, not sprint assist, but sprint restore, you're going to leave that on. Slide maintain sprint, leave that on. Parachute behavior, free fall. I don't think I've changed that either. Mantle cancels reload, we're going to leave that on. Movement settings, advanced settings. I think most of these are all default. I cut off the auto move forward, obviously, if that was already on. Auto door peek, cut that off too. Grounded mantle, cut that off. Tactical sprint activation. Some people like tactical sprint, like single tap. I think that makes you, I feel like you get caught with your gun up in the air too many times when you have it on that to single tap sprint. So I put mine on single tap run. Obviously, you can play double tap if you want to, but your controller is not going to thank you for it later. Plunging underwater, we're going to put that on trigger. That works the best for me. You'll have more control over when you're underwater. Sprinting door bash, leave that on. I think it's on default, but I'd leave it on. If you're running into a door, obviously you want to run through it. Vehicle behaviors, we're not going to touch that because I don't mess with them. I don't spend too much time in vehicles. Aimed outside behavior, obviously you want that on hold. Weapon mount activation, I think default it's on ADS plus melee. I put mine on double tap ADS. I play a lot of rank play, so there's not going to be no mounting for me anyways. Dedicated weapon activation or melee weapon activation, we put that on hold melee. That's what I would definitely say is the best. Otherwise, you would pull up your melee by pressing the triangle button. That's not what you want because you're probably going to try to switch to your secondary and then accidentally pull out a melee, and you're not going to like that. Not at all. Body shield finishing move behavior. I put mine on prioritize finishing move, but this is a personal preference setting because I don't think I've changed it at all. Not going to affect you too much. Armor plate behavior. I should probably put this on apply 1 when you hold it, but I have it on apply all, so we're going to put that on apply 1. C4 detonation. Haven't messed with that equipment. Haven't messed with that. Manual fire. Most of these I haven't messed with. So combat advance, we'll go into that. I know I've messed with some of these, I think. Prioritize reload. That helped me a lot. I don't want to open a door rather than reload if I'm out of bullets, obviously. Everything else in here, I don't mess with. Overlay. Now, this is not the overlay I thought I was getting into. Let's go to interface. Go to gameplay HUD. Go to HUD presets. This is what I really want to talk about. This year, I play on Central Command. It puts your mini map in the middle, and where else would you want it? Top corner, you have to look into the corner for the mini map. Other people, I guess they don't mind it, but me personally, with this setting being in game, I think it's a game changer. It's one of the newer things that they added that's actually helpful. I don't have to look in the corner anymore to look at my mini map. It's already in the middle of my screen, right there. I could just take a look, quick glance down and get right back to it. I feel like that's helped my game a lot this year. Most of this stuff doesn't matter, personal preference. Since I do have my mini map in the middle of the screen at the bottom, I put my compass on the mini map. Your settings will reset with Black Ops 6 a lot. I've noticed this. So you might want to do yourself a favor and either screenshot or remember what you want, like what's essential for you. Go to colors. I put my enemy color on yellow, but obviously you can do what you want. Find you a color that looks good for you as far as seeing the enemies, because red kind of been trolly for me this year. I won't lie to you. Yellow's doing the best for me. Color filter, I put it on 2, makes the game look a little better, and then put it on both instead of world. I think it's set to world by default. Crank this up to 100. World color intensity and interface color, we're going to leave that at 80, or crank it down to 80. What else we need to go over? Audio settings. Only thing I changed the audio settings is I put my audio mix on headphones, which probably not a big deal. Most of the stuff doesn't matter. Cut your enhanced headphone on. No, I just know I've always had it on. Master volumes. Yeah, obviously you want to crank that up so you can hear everything. Other than that, you don't really have to mess with most of this stuff. We'll go to graphics. I play on 100 field of view. You're going to want to put your ADS field of view on affected and your weapon field of view on wide. Definitely the best settings in my opinion as far as graphics goes. I play on PS5 and these settings have been the same since pretty much Modern Warfare 2. First person camera movement, this is a big setting. Default is going to be on 100. Make sure that's on 50, bro. You're going to look like you're at war. So put all these on 50, both of these. Third person transition, I don't really play in third person, so it doesn't matter. Most of you don't either, I'm assuming. Quality, make sure you cut all the weapon blurs off. Weapon, motion blur, world motion blur, cut all of it off. Motion blur is terrible for Call of Duty and for any FPS for that matter. Just don't do it to yourself. Fidelity cast, I play on PS5, as I said again, and 95 looks the best for me right now. Your texture streaming, if your internet is booty and you're playing off McDonald's Wi-Fi, put it on minimal. You're gonna troll yourself playing on optimized. From what I've seen, some people are getting packet loss just from putting it on optimized. So leave it on minimal. Probably do yourself a favor. Obviously, if you don't have 120 hertz refresh rate cut on and you're on console, cut that on if your TV/monitor supports it. And that's pretty much it, guys. I would say that's we've been over most of the settings. I think that's everything we need to go over. I'm gonna just glance through everything else, make sure I didn't miss anything that was essential. But if that's it, that's probably gonna be the end of the video, which is looking like that's it. So if you guys enjoyed and it helped you out, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, brother.